Hey guys, it's Sierra again. Welcome back to my channel. And today I just have a really quick perfume haul for you guys. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I have been ordering a lot of fragrances lately and I've been having a lot of misses, unfortunately, because I have an extremely sensitive nose and I've had to send a lot of them back. But I finally got two winners and I'm excited to share those with you. I'm also going to share with you a few others that I tried and did not work for me. So first I'm going to start with the ones that did not work for me. And I have them right here on my laptop. I ordered them from Nordstrom because Nordstrom is amazing about free shipping on returns. And so the first one that did not work was Jo Malone White Jasmine and Mint. And this is a really interesting thing about fragrances that I have found through all of this trial and error that I've been doing recently. I am someone who, in real life, I love floral fragrances. I love jasmine, I love gardenias, I love tuberose, and when it comes to fragrances though, I really do not like them. Like sometimes I do, but in the Jo Malone ones that I've tried, I do not like any of her floral fragrances. They are just too overpowering for me. I can see how someone else would like them, but for me it was just like an assault on my senses. It was just so overpowering. So unfortunately that one did not work for me. The next one was the French Lime Blossom, which I don't know if any of you guys have that. I would be really interested to see if anyone has that and likes it, because again, I found that one really strong. I was hoping it would be kind of like this light citrusy smell, but instead it kind of smelled like lime combined with a powdery laundry detergent. And I don't mean that in a negative way because I actually like the smell of laundry detergent, but it was like a powdery lime smell. It wasn't like a light citrusy smell. So I did not like that one. And then the last Jo Malone I tried was the Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I actually did like that fragrance, and this is something I've noticed with every single Jo Malone that I have tried on recently, there must be something in the formula that they make, because every single Jo Malone I've tried, I get this reaction where like my chest tightens up and I get an instant headache and nausea. So I think that there must be something in her formula, because I've tried stronger scents, I've tried really light scents, I've tried florals, I've tried all different, and every single Jo Malone just does not work for me for whatever reason. So which is a bummer, because like even if I get a headache from it, I still really actually like the scent, if that makes any sense at all. So it's a bummer because I really wanted some of them to work out. Like for example, the Wood Sage and Sea Salt, I liked that fragrance. It just gave me an instant headache. So total bummer for me. If you have not tried Jo Malone, I totally encourage you to go try some, because I think they're beautiful fragrances. I love that you can layer them together, and most people really like her fragrances as well. If you're really sensitive to fragrances like I am, definitely get some samples or try some on first, or order from Nordstrom.com because they're very good with returns, but just be wary that they may be a little overpowering for you if you're really sensitive. The next one that I ordered was Creed, and I forget the name, Spring Blossom, I think it's the one that came in the pink bottle. And I was so excited to try a Creed fragrance, and again, it was just too strong and I got an instant headache. So, which is probably for the best because that's a very pricey perfume. So, sent that one back. Bobbi Brown Beach Eau de Parfum, I got the rollerball for that, and again, that one didn't really give me a headache, but I just wasn't a big fan of that fragrance. And then the final one was Diptyque. It was a rollerball, and I'm totally gonna butcher this because I can't speak French. It was called Eau Moelle, I don't know. Moheil is how you spell it. And that was actually a very beautiful fragrance. It was a little bit strong, but I could deal with it if I just put a little bit on. It's a unisex fragrance, and so what I decided in the end was that it was just a little bit on the masculine side for me. I prefer kind of a lighter, more feminine fragrance. I hate to use masculine and feminine because like anyone should be able to wear anything, but just for the sake of description, it was a little bit masculine for me. So what I decided is that I am going to give it to my husband because that way I can still kind of enjoy the fragrance, but I don't actually have to wear it. So I am keeping that one. I'm just not going to wear it. So yeah, that one kind of worked out well. So now for the two that did work for me. I'm just gonna put my, laptop over there. So the first one I'm super excited about, and this, I actually found this brand. I'm pretty sure that the January Ipsy bag, I think it was the Ipsy, came with a lotion from Mitchell & Peach called English Leaf. And when I used it, I was just like, this is amazing. I loved the fragrance. And I don't know why it took me till now to order their perfume. So finally, after, you know, all my hits and misses recently, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna order this perfume. I know I love the lotion. Chances are good that I'm gonna like the perfume as well. So I went onto the website and found that it's a British brand and it's actually really hard to find in the US. So I was lucky enough to find a boutique about an hour away that has a website. And so I ordered it online. And so this is it. It's called Mitchell & Peach. And it's, you know, I don't actually know, it says English Growers here, and then it says English Leaf here. So I think the name is English Leaf. And then this is the bottle. And it is just a beautiful fragrance. I love the bottle. I love how clean it is. It has a really nice heavy lid. It makes a nice sound when you close it. Just, I don't know. I really like the packaging. And, oh my God, it's just so good. So the main note in this is basil, which sounds really weird, and it does not smell like fresh basil. If you've ever smelled fresh basil, perfume version basil is a lot sweeter and it's different. What this kind of reminds me of is, and this is gonna sound negative, but it's not. If you have ever smelled Mrs. Meyer's hand soap before, Mrs. Meyer's is kind of like a more organic, natural line of hand soaps and cleaning products. And one of the fragrances is basil. And I purchased their basil hand soap and I just loved it. And I would like wash my hands and then like an hour later kind of catch a whiff and be like, that's fabulous. So that's where I realized that I like the fragrance of basil. So when I realized this was basil, I was like, oh my gosh. And I kind of realized, and watching Eva in the City's recent video about perfumes kind of made me take notice more of what fragrances I actually like. So what I realized is that I really like green florals, which is what this is. So this has basil, like I said, as one of the main notes. I don't recall what the other ones were, but it is definitely, it's very sweet and crisp and light. It has the smell of basil, but it also, to me, before I even knew that basil was one of the notes, the first thing I thought of was if you have ever grown tomatoes in your garden and you cut one off on a warm summer's night and you smell it, and the smell from the tomato vine, it just has this distinctive smell. And if you smelt it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, grow some tomatoes, because growing tomatoes is so much fun. Anyways, grow some tomatoes. You'll see what I'm talking about. But this totally reminded me of that smell of a vine-ripened tomato that's been in the sun. And I personally really like that fragrance. I don't actually think that that is a real note of this perfume, but it kind of reminded me of that. And then when I realized that basil was a note, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I think they kind of have a similar smell. So anyways, super rambling. I think I just talked for 4 minutes about this perfume that smells like basil, but it is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And I really like that it's very different. Like, I have never smelled a perfume like this before. I've never known anyone to wear something like this before. So I really like that. It kind of feels, you know, unique and more special to me. The second one that I purchased is one that I had a sample of, I think from Sephora, and I really just fell in love with it, but I kind of didn't pull the trigger because it's a little bit more expensive, and I don't know what made me do it. I just was one day just bought it like kind of on a whim because I was just like, it smells so good, I want it. And I'm glad I did because it's, again, it's a beautiful perfume, and I have found that I'm wearing it almost every day. And it is Hermes, and I'm gonna pronounce this with a Spanish accent, so pardon me, but it is Le Jardin de Monsieur Lee. So this is what it actually smells like. Arranged around bodies of water that reflects the flowers, bamboo and rocks around them, this world in miniature blurs the boundaries between the real and imaginary, an evocation of vegetal jasmine, kumquat, and sap, a perfume awakening and harmony, surprising and inviting. So literally that's what it smells like. It smells like a little pond with bamboo and like some light florals, but it doesn't smell like heavy florals. So like with the Jo Malone's, it was just like floral. With this, it's, imagine if you're sitting in the backyard on a warm summer's evening and the wind blows past a jasmine bush that's blossoming and you kind of get this little whiff of jasmine. That's what this smells like. That's what the jasmine smells like in this. It's just very light, but it's definitely there. Oh, it's so good. It kind of smells like sweet rain, and I think this was actually described as a yellow floral, which I don't know what that means, but again, it's definitely not like a floral, but there is a little bit of floweriness to it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But this is the bottle. It's this really pretty kind of yellow on the bottom, and I think that this bottle is very beautiful, but I have a little pet peeve with it, which is that this piece right here is plastic and it makes this squeaking noise when you put it on and off. Let me see. I don't know if I can replicate it. And it's like, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but oh, there, I did it. Do you hear that like crackling? So I just get so annoyed because I'm like, this is Hermes. This was an expensive perfume. Get it together and let's not have a plastic lid. Like this one has a really nice substantial lid. It makes a nice noise when you pop it on. This makes this crackling plastic noise that feels really cheap. And I'm just like, you guys make the Birkin. Get it together. Come on. Let's not have a plastic lid, guys. As my bra strap is showing. So anyways, that's my rant. I still super love it. I think it's beautiful, but I just wish that they didn't have plastic right here. But it's a beautiful fragrance. If you have not smelled this, I definitely recommend. I found this at Sephora. Sephora has, I think they have about 8 or 9 Hermes fragrances, at least the one that I went to. But I know that Hermes has quite a few more fragrances than that. So if you really want to smell the whole line, I would maybe go to an Hermes boutique if you have one near you, or like a Neiman's or a Bloomingdale's, I think probably would have this. So anyways, these are the 2 new fragrances in my collection. I am absolutely loving them. I would highly recommend them if you like really light, clean, kind of florally, not floral fragrances, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and I am on the hunt for more. If you have any suggestions of fragrances that are kind of in this similar family. And yeah, that's it for now. I will talk to you again soon, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. Bye.